You've been living disconnected from half of your true power and you don't even realize it. Right now your energy is out of balance. You've been conditioned to suppress your feminine essence, the energy of intuition, flow, and deep inner wisdom. And because of that, you constantly feel like something is missing. You chase success, logic, and control. But inside, there's an emptiness you can't explain. Carl Jung uncovered the hidden forces shaping your psyche, and what he discovered could change your life forever. There is a secret energy within you, a force that once activated will transform the way you think, feel, and experience the world. But if you continue to ignore it, you will remain trapped in a cycle of stress, disconnection, and unfulfilled desires. In this video, I will reveal exactly how to awaken this lost power and restore harmony to your life. You'll understand why you've been struggling, why things feel out of sync, and how reconnecting with this hidden force will unlock your full potential. But you must stay until the end because the key to your transformation is in what I'm about to share. Before we begin, over 70% of people who watch these videos are not subscribed. Don't let that be you. If you're here, it means you're searching for something deeper. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and let's dive into the wisdom of Carl Jung. Because once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. Since time immemorial, humanity has sought to decipher the mysteries of the psyche, trying to understand what hidden forces move us, define us, and transform us. Carl Jung dedicated his life to studying the unconscious and discovered that within each person exist archetypal energies that shape how we experience reality. Feminine energy is one of the most powerful forces within the human psyche. It is not merely a characteristic exclusive to women, but a universal principle present in all human beings. A flow of intuition, creativity, and connection with the deepest essence of being. But what does it truly mean to connect with this energy, and how can it transform your life? Imagine for a moment that you have been living with a part of yourself completely asleep, a part that connects you with wisdom beyond reason, allowing you to flow with life rather than fight against it. This energy has been suppressed, misunderstood, and often ignored, creating a profound imbalance in society and our own lives. When Jung spoke of the anima, he referred to that feminine principle within the unconscious of men, a manifestation of their sensitivity, their capacity to feel, intuit, and connect with the irrational and symbolic. But the anima is not just an internal aspect of men, it is a bridge to a more authentic and fulfilling way of living. Disconnection from feminine energy has led many to live in a constant state of tension, seeking to control everything, rationalizing every decision, and ignoring the soul's language. Jung teaches us that the psyche is in a perpetual quest for equilibrium, and feminine energy is an essential component of this internal harmony. Perhaps you have felt this in your own life, that sensation that something is missing, that you are trapped in a cycle of unmet expectations, never truly allowing yourself to feel or let go. In a world that prizes productivity over intuition and logic over emotion, many have learned to disconnect from their true nature. But feminine energy cannot be repressed indefinitely. It manifests in dreams, inexplicable sensations, attraction to the unknown, and the need to find meaning beyond the material. When we ignore these signals, life makes us aware through crises, existential voids, superficial relationships, or a persistent sense of dissatisfaction. The key to awakening this energy lies not in seeking it externally, but in recognizing its presence within. Jung said the unconscious communicates through symbols and archetypes, and everything in our lives reflects what occurs in our inner world. Observe how you relate to intuition, mystery, and the flow of life. Do you allow yourself to listen to your inner voice, or do you always demand rational explanations? Do you trust your instincts, or do you seek security and control? Feminine energy is the source of creativity, connection with the subtle, and that which cannot be measured or confined to formulas. Jung understood that the feminine in the psyche is a portal to the unconscious, a force guiding us toward profound transformation, if we dare to listen. In mythology, the feminine has always been linked to water, the ocean, and depth. It is no coincidence Jung saw in dreams and water symbolism a representation of the unconscious, and the need to dive into the unknown for answers. But diving into the unconscious is not easy. The rational mind fears getting lost in that sea of uncertainty. It wants clear definitions, immediate results, and relentless logic. This is where conflict begins. Instead of flowing with life, we try to dominate it, molding it to our expectations and ignoring the soul's language. When you allow feminine energy to take its place in your life, you begin to notice subtle yet profound changes. Your perception expands. You recognize patterns that once went unnoticed. You feel more connected to people and your surroundings. Intuition awakens, and you start trusting life's process rather than forcing outcomes. This does not mean rejecting reason or structure. Jung teaches that true balance lies in integration, allowing feminine and masculine energies to coexist in harmony. It is not about choosing one over the other, but learning to listen to both voices within. Think of moments when you were in a state of flow, where everything seemed to align effortlessly, opportunities arrived unexpectedly, and life seemed to respond to your energy. This is what happens when you let feminine energy express itself. The question is, how can you awaken this energy in your life? It begins with reconnecting with yourself. Jung spoke of the individuation process, the journey toward the wholeness of being. To connect with your feminine energy, you must slow down, observe, and allow yourself to feel without judgment. Start by listening to your intuition. How many times have you ignored a gut feeling, only to realize later it was true? Intuition is not fantasy. It is the language of the unconscious, a guide connecting us to what we truly need. Allow yourself moments of stillness and introspection. Feminine energy flourishes in presence in the here and now. Meditation, writing, art, and connecting with nature are ways to awaken this internal power. Observe how you relate to uncertainty. Does not having all the answers distress you, or can you trust that life unfolds in its own rhythm? Control is an illusion. Jung teaches that true transformation occurs when we stop resisting and start flowing. Connecting with feminine energy not only transforms your inner world, but also your relationships. When you allow yourself to be authentic, vulnerable, and receptive, you create deeper, more meaningful bonds. Relationships cease to be power struggles and become spaces for mutual growth. Throughout history, feminine energy has been marginalized, seen as weak, irrational, or chaotic. Yet it is one of the most potent forces in the psyche, the source of life, creativity, and connection with the sacred. Now is the time to reclaim this power, not through struggle or imposition, but by reconnecting with what has always been within. Jung said the shadow contains all we have repressed, and within our collective shadow lies feminine power, waiting to be reclaimed. The world needs more people connected to their essence, intuition, and ability to create from the soul. It starts with you. Today you can choose: continue living from fear, disconnection, and rigidity, or take a step toward a more authentic, fulfilling life aligned with who you truly are. When you decide to listen to your intuition, flow, and integrate what you have denied, something shifts. You begin to see signs, unexpected opportunities, and encounters that feel destined. Jung called this synchronicity, not coincidence, but a reflection of your internal transformation manifesting externally. The question is, are you ready to awaken? When you awaken feminine energy within, everything in your life transforms. It is not merely an internal shift, but a complete reconfiguration of how you interact with the world. You realize the universe is not random events, but a reflection of your own consciousness. Jung spoke of synchronicity as the link between inner and outer worlds, the sense that the right moment, person, or opportunity arrives effortlessly, as if orchestrated at a deeper level. This happens when you stop resisting life and flow with it. Feminine energy is the bridge to that state of total connection with the universe. It is not passivity, weakness, or resignation. It is the ability to trust, surrender to the process without losing your essence, and recognize that true strength lies not in constant struggle, but in the wisdom of knowing when to act and when to let go. Since childhood, society teaches us to live in constant alertness, always chasing the next goal or external validation. We become prisoners of compulsive action, unable to be present. But what if you paused? What if instead of running, you chose to listen? What if, instead of controlling, you allowed life to unfold before you? This is the power of feminine energy. It does not mean ceasing action, but learning to act from clarity and purpose rather than anxiety and fear. Look at your life. How often have you ignored an inner voice because it seemed irrational? How often have you forced yourself down a path because it was expected? How often have you repressed your true desires for fear of judgment? Jung taught that what we repress does not vanish. It hides in the shadows of our psyche, waiting to manifest unexpectedly. But you cannot deceive your soul. You may ignore it temporarily, but it will always remind you who you are, through crises, unexpected encounters, or a deep longing for something indefinable. When you connect with feminine energy, you start hearing that inner voice clearly. You discover you need not seek answers externally. They are already within. You learn to trust your feelings, honor intuition, and stop justifying what does not resonate. This process radically transforms relationships. When aligned with your truth, you no longer tolerate draining connections, seek external approval, or force yourself into molds not meant for you. You attract people in tune with your essence, relationships rooted in balance, respect, and mutual growth. Feminine energy teaches you to give without losing yourself, receive without guilt, and let go without fearing loneliness. In Jungian psychology, the anima, in men, and animus, in women, represent the hidden parts we must integrate to achieve wholeness. A man disconnected from his feminine energy becomes rigid, insensitive, and unable to embrace vulnerability. A woman disconnected from her masculine energy may feel lost, directionless, or incapable of action. But when both energies harmonize, an extraordinary presence emerges, an authentic power that does not impose, a confidence independent of external validation. The crucial point: feminine energy is not just a tool to improve relationships with others. It is the key to transforming the most important relationship, the one with yourself. Cultivating this energy reveals self-love is not an empty phrase, but a daily practice. You allow yourself to rest without guilt, explore passions, and stop seeking externally what is already within. Society teaches that worth lies in achievements, productivity, and accumulation. But Jung shows that true value lies in being, in presence, feeling, and connecting deeply with life. Look around. Most live disconnected, trapped in hollow routines, seeking external validation to fill an inner void. Yet fulfillment comes not from success, approval, or possessions. It comes from connecting with your essence. This connection begins when you explore who you truly are. Stop repressing emotions and accept intuition as valuable as reason, sensitivity as strength, and mystery as essential to life. Jung called individuation a journey toward wholeness. Non-linear, unpredictable, and challenging. It requires courage to unlearn societal conditioning and dive into the unknown. Here, feminine energy becomes your greatest ally, teaching trust in the process, surrender without losing direction, and moving with life rather than against it. When you live from this space, the external world mirrors your internal transformation. Opportunities arrive timely, the right people appear, and obstacles dissolve. Not because life changed, but because you did. Ask yourself, what part of you have you repressed? What if you permitted yourself to be who you truly are, without fear, excuses, or masks? When you do, you will discover what Jung wanted us to understand. Life's true magic lies not in seeking externally, but in remembering what has always been within. When you remember what has always been within, you realize life is not random. Every experience, person, or emotion is part of a deeper pattern emerging from your unconscious. Jung taught, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. If you ignore your soul's needs, you will repeat patterns, attract the same situations, and feel the same dissatisfaction. But when you look inward, everything changes. This path is not easy. It demands courage to face shadows, patience to unlearn, and trust to surrender. But in doing so, you discover something incredible. The power has always been within. When you integrate feminine energy, balancing intuition with action, receptivity with determination, and softness with strength, you live from authenticity and fulfillment. From there, everything changes. This message is not just a reflection. It is an invitation to look within, question yourself, and connect with the part of your being you may have ignored. For as more people awaken their consciousness and live authentically, the entire world transforms. If this message resonated, share it with someone needing to hear it, someone seeking answers or sensing there is more beyond what we've been taught. Together, we can expand this knowledge and create a community where introspection, self-awareness, and transformation are part of daily life. Leave a comment below. I want to know which part touched your soul and what reflections arose. Your story, words, and experience can inspire others on this self-discovery journey. If you haven't yet, subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss more content like this. Every interaction, like, and comment helps this message reach more minds ready to awaken. Remember, everything you seek is already within. You only need the courage to see it. And when you do, you will realize true power lies not in changing the external world, but in transforming your inner world. See you in the next video.